for me personally, breath work has been something that I'm working on now, and something that I've I've taken on that has helped me through my healing journey and allowed me to also understand that not everything has to be analyzed. Most things that you have been through just need to be felt and observed through your body, and allowing yourself to see what stuck energies you have within your body. Because when it comes to healing, a lot of the times when you go through traumatic events like, you know, SA, or when you go through different different traumas in your life, if you have a mother wound or a father wound, you have to that stores within your body, that stores within your energetic field. And for me personally, I've had to heal through a traumatic event of being molested when I was a kid, and it put me in a position where I wasn't comfortable in my body. I wasn't comfortable in in the space of even breathing in and out and allowing myself to, feel comfortable with my own body. And so for me, recently, when you deal with a situation where you're being molested or SA, it puts you in a space where you either shut down from your body, or you want to take your power back, or you want to take your power back in a way that you just use your body, and you don't understand that you have other facets of ways that you can show yourself that you love yourself. And for me personally, um I've always been in a space of insecurity about my chest area, because that was a space where I was touched as a kid, and I was getting dreams back to back, nightmares back to back on, people touching my chest area, and me understanding that that came from a space of me feeling out of control and feeling like those people were trying to have some type of control over me. And that's when I understood that that is a space that I needed to work on. That is a space that I needed to be more comfortable with my chest area. And for me personally, I feel like in order to take your power back, you have to allow yourself to understand that you are safe in your body. And so breath work really helped me to feel through that space of uncomfort, feeling in my chest area, and allowing myself to be uncomfortable with that space, and allowing myself to feel my emotions intentionally, really sitting down and allowing myself to feel that emotion intentionally, and also working out more really has helped me to really take my power back from from that situation as a young kid. And obviously, for me, that has been one of the hardest things for me to heal, because it's something that comes up, you know um out of nowhere sometimes, when you laying down, or you just feel out of place, out of your body, because you don't feel safe in it, you know what I mean? And I think for me, it's just about how I'm working on it, is working out, and doing affirmations, allowing myself to understand that I am safe in my own that I am safe and I am protected. And and that's the direction that I'm taking into that, and also allowing myself to feel that those feelings right when they come up, and allowing myself to take those deep breaths in and out, and allowing myself to, feel into my body as I breathe in, and allowing that hurt and that pain and those images of what happened to me to release as I breathe out, and allowing that to and imagining light, and allowing that to go into the light. as well. And I think it's important to understand when it comes to healing, it's it's not something that is a destination. You have to allow yourself, whenever anything comes up, traumas or whatever the case may be come up, you have to allow yourself to feel it. And if you can't feel it in that moment, setting aside time in the day, even if it's for 10 minutes, to allow yourself to intentionally breathe and allow yourself to intentionally, feel what you need to feel in order to get to the other side of peace, or the other side of understanding. And also understanding that not all the time is it a space for you to understand. Sometimes it's just, you know, something that you need to feel. And also, me healing in this healing journey of what happened to me, I realized and understood the power that I had when I was a kid of of my voice and being able to speak up even when people didn't believe me, even when people were me just me understanding the power that I did have, and the protection that I did have in that space. But I realized also, you know, I don't really talk about what happened to me. I just deal with it by myself. But it's like, with people that do know what happened to me, are like family members and stuff, they'll bring it up out of nowhere, and I get triggered because I'm the type of person that I don't really uh like to feel like a victim. I like to take my power back in any space, in any dynamic. And with that is been, you know, hard to really, especially when it's like when it's brought up randomly or out of nowhere without me speaking on it, because I never bring it up. So it puts me in a space of I get triggered, and not in a space of where I lash out, but I do kind of step back and and just feel like, okay, it feels like these people want to be a hero in my story, or feels like they want to bring me down by bringing this up, or want to deflect and say it wasn't their fault, or whatever the case may be. But it just helped me realize that they were meant to bring it up. They were meant to speak on it, for me to allow myself to understand that it's something that I still need to continue to work through, that I still need to continue to feel through in order to really transmute that energy to where it can be, to where I can take my power back from it. Because I think it's important to understand when it comes to healing triggers, triggers are the pathway are the pathway to really the beginning of where you can start. You know what I mean? Where you can start and really feel what you need to feel. And so for me, I think it's important to understand when it comes to triggers, to use that as a map in order to get to the other side of feeling what you need to feel. But for me, breath work has really been working. Meditation, doing a little bit of yoga, and because you do store trauma in your hips, you do store trauma in your hip area, and you do store it in your back and your neck. And so being able to stretch those parts of you every single day can allow you to release and really breathing into those areas. And like I said, breathing in and allowing yourself to flow with your breath, and breathing out and allowing whatever you're holding on to release and let go in those spaces, to release and let go into light, and allowing that to really be released. And also guided meditations. I do a guided meditation. Um I'll actually put it in the bio down below for y'all to check out. If you are on my Spotify, if you are on, that was a B. If you are on my Spotify, make sure to go to my YouTube at Truth Podcast, and I'll have the link in the bio for the meditations that I use in order to really release and let go and feel what I need to feel. And I do use spiritual techniques, and I also pray every single day, because I feel like everything that I've been through, I have to make sure that I'm connecting to my body, and connecting to also just my energy, because the body is a tool, but you are more than this. We are more than this human body. We are more than just, skin and bones and things of that nature. We are energy. We are a light, and I think it's important to allow yourself to breathe into that light, and be at one with that light as well. But also, because we have to be here on this earth to also be connected to your body in this earth as well. And also, something that I use is grounding, allowing myself to touch the earth, allowing myself to touch the trees and touch the plants and touch, touch the plants and touch different things, and putting my feet in the grass and just sitting outside and looking at nature, because can show you nature can show you how to heal as well, and animals as well. I'm also reading this book called The Power of Now, and in one of the texts, he says something about ducks, and how, or swans, ducks or swans, no, ducks, and how they will fight, and and after they fight, they'll fight for a couple of seconds, but then they'll move away from each other, and they'll go in different directions, and then you'll see them just shaking their feathers, and then they'll keep moving. And in that space of them shaking their feathers, they're releasing that tension, or releasing that pain, or whatever the case may be, um and moving on, releasing that pain and releasing that tension, and moving on. I hope y'all don't hear all these different lawnmowers, but I hope y'all can still hear me. But and I think that we should take notes of that, and allow ourselves to feel, when allow ourselves to also, shake that energy out of our energy field, because also I think it's just important that we store energy in our body. And so you doing dancing, or just shaking your body, like just shaking that energy up off of you, is important to understand as well. Allowing yourself to breathe through that, and allowing yourself to do whatever works for you. Breathing techniques, I personally do everything that i I come across, to just see if it that I feel like aligns with me, to see if it works for me. And what works for me is mindful meditation. What works for me is guided meditations. What works for me is dancing. What works for me is breathing techniques. What works for me is Reiki people, Reiki Reiki masters. What works for me is nature. What works for me is taking a shower, and imagining the water washing away sadness or anxiety or whatever, depression or whatever the case may be. And I think it's just important to understand, to figure out what works for you. But even under in order to even understand what works for you, you have to allow yourself to tap in with yourself. You have to become self-aware. You have to allow yourself to understand your shadow side and your light side and not be afraid to lean into both of those, and not be afraid of what you are going to look like to other people when you do lean into both of those. I think it's important to understand that, and work through the way that you see yourself and the way that you you allow projections in, or the way that you project onto others. I think it's important to understand that when it comes to healing, there's different levels and different things that you can do in different spaces, and I think it's important to be self-aware but also be aware of your surroundings, to understand what you can truly work on and what you have control over, and learning how to release and let go of situations and things and emotions that you have no control over.